Okay, so this is a tankless water heater, 13 kilowatt. It's made by Ream, and this version is performance. Well, one thing we all forget is that they actually need to be maintained. Otherwise, the elements inside will corrode beyond belief. And yes, that scaling comes from inside. Because, of course, none of us have perfect water, and you don't expect that. Plus, the elements inside corrode by themselves either way. So, we have to open it up and clean it, and that's the procedure we're going to do here. But before you do any of this, this is an electric water heater only. This is not a gas. On gas, the procedure is similar, but taking it off the wall and all that, I would not suggest. And if you are not familiar with water heaters, with electricity, with plumbing, I do not suggest you even touch it with a 10-foot pole, because these things can go very wrong, very bad. First line of action is always to disconnect the breaker at the breaker box. But to be 1,000,000% sure, I would highly suggest you disconnect the whole house if you are not sure which one is your breaker. This one takes a 60 amp breaker, 240 volts, because it has 13 kilowatts. And after that is all done, we will get into the water heater itself. First, let me take the knob out of the way. And there's 2 screws on this particular one on the bottom. And in some of them, there's a screw in here and in here just to keep this cover on top. I'm going to take these screws really quick out of here. Just make sure you don't lose the screws. And the cover comes up. There's really nothing on the cover. And here's the main board. We'll take these 2 here just so I want to show you something really quick. Most of them have this feature I'm about to show you. Some of them don't. And I'll show you what to keep in mind when doing this one. Okay, so now here is the selector for the wattage or the power output of it. It's right here, right there. I have it on 11 kilowatts right now. Up to 13 is the max. You can lower it down to 6 kilowatts, but expect a much lower output of pressure. Yes, it has a pressure regulator here too that lets it up or down depending on how many kilowatts you're drawing from it. And the heat elements are both in here in these 2 cylinders. There's a cylinder here and a cylinder here. When these heat elements go out, the procedure of taking them out is actually not that hard. You have to disconnect all these wires here on top first. But what I highly suggest is you take a picture of this first, just to make sure you know where they go back in. Then let's go ahead and take in these 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that hold them in place. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yep, we will put the screws on the side really quick. Okay, with all the wires out of the way, now we have to undo the tops, and we will see this has not been cleaned for the last year. So I expect some real bad crud. Well, you could either go with a big wrench or one of these guys right here. I'm going to go with this Sparrett here really quick, and after you get it loose, you can probably take it by fingers out. As you see, it rotates here. Just be careful not to force anything. If you see it's not wanting to come out, take it even easier. Okay, and you pull it out, and yep, just as expected. Look at the crud that's in these elements here, and I'll have to clean it. These are still working, but this is really nasty, and now we have to clean them. I usually go with some vinegar and a soft wire brush, and just take this all out, and I'm gonna slowly take the second one out as well, just like that, and we are ready to clean them. But if you don't do this, you'll get to the point that it will no longer work, it will start giving you less water, and all that good stuff that comes with it. As you see here, it's not wanting to come out by finger, so we will do it slowly and gently with a tool, because I'm expecting it has a lot of that garbage on it right now. So let's see it. Yep. Oh, this one is even worse. It's almost at a point that most people would replace them, because this is really bad, and we'll do just that. And inside the cylinders, there should probably be some crap too, and what I usually do, throw some vinegar there slowly and nice, and with a long brush just wipe around the walls as much as you can, and just pour it out and repeat that cycle maybe 2-3 times till you see no more rust and lime coming out. As you see here, look, yeah, this is stuff that's inside. So if you don't clean the cylinders after you have taken the elements out, you are not doing a great job. So let me get some kind of a container for some vinegar and start cleaning on the container. So now you can go with a lot of ways here to do this one. You can have a either plastic brush or a metal wire brush, or one of these other brushes, or cleaning wire pads. These ones, these are actually really good after we get the big crud out. And you could use either regular regular household vinegar or cleaning vinegar. It kind of does the same thing. I happen to have this one. I didn't go just for this job to get this bought, but basically you can find these on dollar stores, Dollar General, Family Dollar, whatever, one of those stores. I'm going to start cleaning and see where we go from here. So let's get going. Okay, so in this case, as you see, the calcification has gone quite far, and I'm just getting a regular mason jar, and I'm gonna pour the vinegar in there and see where that goes. So I can actually put the elements inside here and just let it grab on it first. Then we will come back in few minutes, I guess, and see what we're dealing with. Okay, oh yeah, I see some reaction going on already. Now this part is where we have to be extremely careful because we are dealing with the cylinders and you don't want to get water in the electronics. So we'll put some water in there and try to clean them with, vinegar, and try to clean them slowly. And boom. That to this point is now they're starting to spill water on the sides, and just get something to keep this upright like this so the water can stay there and make sure it cleans. So let me see if I can lean it on something. Okay, I have one of these heavy transformers. That's probably the best thing I can put here because it's heavy enough. Boom. And this now should hold it as long as we want, and see where that goes. As you see, yep, I almost dropped it. Perfect. That's a great job. I'm gonna put the drill in the other side. Yep, it will hold just enough. Perfect. So they have to stay like this now. I'm gonna leave them probably for a half hour at least. Let me just give it a small nudge to one of them if it started getting anything, but I doubt it. Nope, it's still too rough. I mean, it's starting to fall just a little bit, but really it's not easy. Nope. So we'll leave it in that good stuff for a little bit longer. We'll leave this one filled for a little bit longer, and we'll see what we're dealing with when we come back here. So, see you in a minute, I guess. Okay, so I tried everything, and vinegar alone, maybe it was not strong enough or something. It's just regular cleaning vinegar. And of course it doesn't say what percentage, because at least should be over 9% in order to be kind of okay to clean this, because as I saw, those heating elements on mine were really bad. So yeah, here goes that. But what I did, I went to the store and got this stuff here. Well, first I tried adding this stuff to the vinegar, and it kind of worked, but you had to wait for too long, and I waited maybe 20 minutes and did almost nothing. Then I put on that vinegar you saw, probably this much of this bottle. It's a tiny, what's that, 8 ounces, 236 milliliters. It's this Lysol Power, but what this one has is hydrochloric acid. And let me show it right here. Yep, that's the main ingredient that we need here, and it's 9.5% hydrochloric acid. That stuff is really dangerous when you handle. So you must be 1,000,000% careful. Use eye protection and hand protection, like gloves. Don't look at me. Do it your way, safe way. So after I added this, oh yeah, let me show you what happened here. And mind you, with the vinegar and this other stuff alone, without hydrochloric acid, I was literally brushing with a drill, and it didn't really do anything. So I was just tiring myself out for nothing. But let me show you one of the elements. Now, here, this is the element. Let me just drop some of this water. It doesn't look perfect, because it's not perfect, obviously. But this is miles, literally miles from where we started. And I'm gonna rub it just a little bit more and see where that goes and how it goes. Oh yeah, look, I'm just going with a pad that I told you. I'm not sure if the camera is showing us, but this stuff is just falling. Boom. Just like that. Perfect. So let me do it on the other side too. Look, just like that. Literally, this is almost like joking right now. Boom. Look, clean. This side too. And don't forget, put your gloves on, because you're dealing with hydrochloric acid here. This stuff is not a joke. And don't look at my hands. This is a different story. Don't do what I do as I say. So yeah, look at that. Almost perfect. Because what happened when you leave those deposits, not that they only will corrode down to it breaking it down, but your water heater is actually less efficient too. That's another big problem. So you'll be spending electricity and not getting enough hot water. And that's quite a big problem, because these are 13 kilowatts. This is not a small thing that you can just pull in and out. Okay. Wow. This is looking really promising. Look at the next one. Almost perfect at this point. And just rub it. Wow. I'm barely applying any pressure. Look at that. Perfect. This is next. Almost miracle. So now we have to clean the 2 cylinders inside real quick. And I'm not sure if I can show. Let me get a flashlight real quick. And if you remember, I left them with vinegar inside for just around 2 hours, I would say. And yes, there's some buildups inside. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see it right there. That's some buildup, and there should be some on the other side too. But overall, they look pretty clean. But I'm gonna clean them again, just to make sure that we are 100% clean. And let me get a battery or something so I don't drop it again. I'm just gonna put something to hold here. It doesn't need to be a battery, by the way. It's a battery for me. It shouldn't be a battery for you. Okay, so here I used to have vinegar, but now I have water. And the reason I have water is that I want to wash that little vinegar that was left in and add it here. And they both fill up at the same time. So when one fills up, the other one is filled. And then we're going to add some of this stuff in there just to make sure everything is extremely clean now. And this doesn't need to be a lot. This stuff really works. This Lysol power cleaning gel, this stuff works. So let me fill the rest with this watery vinegar and leave them alone for a few more minutes. Okay, now they're filled. And we will leave them alone for, I don't know, not too long actually, but just a little bit. And let me pull one of these rods really quick just to see what we're dealing. Wow, 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 look at that. Seriously. Now these tiny dots, that's not a big problem, but seriously, that's all it took to make them shiny, almost brand new. Look, perfect. At this point, I am very ready to put them back in, actually. I don't care about these small buildups. They're not a big deal. Even though I can brush them out, probably. And I might do just that in a second here. Wow, what a difference from where we started. Whoo! I'm gonna try one with the back of a knife really slowly, if it'll take it. Yep, it actually did. Not the best way, but it's taken it off. And that is all I care. Okay, so that is as much as I'm willing to clean them. Is actually, if you buy them brand new, they're not going to be any cleaner. So yeah, this is perfect. Let me do the same to the other one, and we might be ready to get the cylinders going too, actually, because I'm not gonna leave them too long here. Boom, just like that. And they look really and seriously brand new. Is in the beginning I thought I could get away with vinegar, but nah, I had to go to hydrochloric acid, of course. I've used it before for a lot of things, except this time somehow in my mind I thought, well, these are just a little bit dirty. Yeah, right. Just a little bit. Okay, it is not perfect, but it looks brand new compared to where we started. And just back in this substance here that might be dangerous to human beings, just like this. And yes, I switched the mason jar from a 24 ounce to a 1.5 liters, or what we call the big ones. And I put them here because it's exactly 9 inches to the neck of the heaters. So to me, that's perfect. And now here we should have some reactions going on too. And we are probably almost ready to pull them out because I'm not going to leave it too long, and it doesn't need to be that long. I'm just gonna rub just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just gonna leave it probably 15 minutes just to kind of take that last thing. And yeah, so far, just a wrap up. What I did, I'm gonna disregard the mistake in the beginning, and I'm gonna go straight to the point what actually worked. So what worked is I filled this one at 90 to 92% with vinegar, this big mason jar, and 5 to 8%, I would say approximately, with this stuff, the Lysol Power with hydrochloric acid inside, and left them alone there. And you saw the results. Yes, I pulled them out then, rubbed them with one of these pads. It's like kind of steel wool pads, but the very fine ones with soap inside. I will try to leave links to everything I can here. But if you have a Dollar Tree around you, you can find, I think, all these things, including the cleaning vinegar, the Lysol Power, this thing here, all this stuff. Even I think these are there on Family Tree or Dollar Tree, if you find them. If not, I will leave links down below on the description from Amazon. They might be affiliate links, so I make a small commission if you buy through them at 0 extra cost to you, and it supports this channel. But basically, that's what worked, because the other solution is to buy the whole pump, and I think the cheapest I saw at Lowe's was like $100-something, and you just put a solution on it with water and let it recirculate. But for a small water heater like this, I would rather do this one here, because I have manual control to clean the whole thing. And that was my whole idea here, to make sure I clean the entire thing, including details on the heating elements. As you see, they look golden right now. So that is why I opted to take it out of the wall and clean it. But if you cannot, always you can hire professionals. It will cost you quite, I think, between $200 and $300, the whole process. And otherwise, just rip it from the wall. I don't suggest you do that if you are not familiar with electricity and plumbing. There is a lot of stuff here that can go extremely wrong, and mistakes with these things could be detrimental to you or your house, so keep that in mind. And well, let's give him 15 minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, so it's been around 10 minutes, I guess now, and we're ready to put it back together. So yeah, there's no other ifs and buts about it. Just I'm gonna dump this stuff out and get it ready for the wall. There's not much else left here. I just take this battery out and do the rituals. Okay, let me just pour them this way if I can, so I can take the bad stuff out. Okay, let's see the chambers quick. And now the chambers are super clean. Not sure if the camera will let us see them. Boom. Nothing there and nothing here. Brand new. And I'm going to clean this table real quick so I can put everything back together in front of you. Okay. I'm going to take them out and wipe them a little bit. Oh, they look beautiful. I'm just going to lay them here, and I'm just gonna kind of dry out the top contacts, because that's something that really matters, so we don't create any sparks later on, because we're talking about 240 volts and up to 5500 watts going through these guys right here, and that is not a joke by any means. Okay, and the same with the other one. Perfect. They look dry, clean, and nice. So it's time to put them back in those little chambers. And this part, it doesn't matter which one is left or right, because they're both exactly the same. Oh wow, it even actually screws in easier now that it doesn't have that buildup. Look at that. I can almost actually finish it just with finger tight. Yep. And I'm gonna do the other one too. Okay, now just to make sure they're where we need them to be. So now this part here, we are ready to put the screws back on, but first let's put the wires back on. Okay, and we're just gonna make sure they're put the way they were before, and we will put the next wire from right here. Okay, and now we have two more to go here. Let's make sure this is tight as it needs to be. Okay, and now this is tight enough, and we have to put these screws how they were before too. One goes right here, if I get the screw itself though. Okay, perfect. And the last one goes under there. Okay, so everything here is done perfectly good, and we flip it around and we put it back to 13K how it was before. Okay, so now it is the perfect time to put this beauty cover on, and it goes from the bottom first because it has these two little kind of clips. I don't know if you can see them, but yeah, these two, and they go in right here, and then it goes in right here. Let's make sure we have no water near these electronics, and there's two screws on top there. That goes as such, and of course I'm not gonna put the cover back on yet. That's how it would go, because I have to actually go install it on the wall, and of course I have to put the wires, which is two lines here and the ground right here, which gives us the 240 volts, 120 and 120. That's 240, and the body is the ground for this one here. So I hope you learned something, and basically most of the electric water heaters are kind of similar to this. There are some others that have 3-4 cylinders, but it's the same principle. Every cylinder has a heat element inside. Every heat element has the two wires coming in, and every hot water heater has a temperature gauge right here at the hot water heater output. It has in right here the it's almost like a mini pump or turbine, whatever you want to call it, on the entrance here, and basically it's all kind of the same. Yeah, so they're not that hard to service. I suggest, this has not been serviced in 2 years, by the way, but I suggest you do this, what I did here, every single year, especially springtime. Just go ahead, do it, and you'll be happy forever after, because if you maintain these heat elements, they can actually last for, I would say 10-15 years easy. Actually, they last a lot. And with that said, I hope you learned something. Links will be down in the description for everything, including the 13 kilowatt heater. And yes, with this heater, you can wash dishes, whether manually or with a machine. You can wash clothes, you can take showers, you can do all that stuff. It's actually plenty. So after that, please like and subscribe. Share this video with somebody that you might think might benefit or might like to watch it. And we will see you next time. Bye!